All right, we're going to be having a press conference here at the Sheriff's Office on Savan Road. In a few minutes, we're going to go live. Very big drug bust. We're going to get all the details to you in just a few minutes. So Blake Tabor's up there. Of course, he's the Public Information Officer of the Sheriff's Department.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Right now, he's testing his mic. I
Check.
saw the sheriff
1, 2,
is here,
3,
the district
4.
attorney is here. Of course, members of the Sheriff's Department who did a great job on this bust. And I'm not going to give you anything off the press release yet. We're going to let the sheriff and his people take the credit for this because this is a big one. So if you're watching on Facebook and YouTube, we're going to go now as all of the executives coming in right now, and the sheriff will take the microphone.
Good morning, everyone. My name is First Lieutenant Blake Tabor with the Terrebonne Parish Sheriff's Office. I currently serve as the Public Information Officer. I'll also be your moderator for this particular event. So I'd like to welcome everyone for being here. Obviously, this is a monumental arrest here in Terrebonne Parish. We're going to be discussing the seizure of over 70 pounds of methamphetamines, which is clearly documented as the largest seizure in the history of Terrebonne Parish. And we'll kind of get into the details of that as we go along. We will allow 30 minutes for this press conference. We will allow 10 minutes for questions at the end. Unfortunately, the sheriff does have some other pressing engagements they will have to attend, so we will have to end this promptly at 9 o'clock if it goes on that far. I'd like to take the opportunity to discuss a few key speakers that we're going to have today. First of all, which will be the Terrebonne Parish Sheriff Tim Saunier, and also the Terrebonne Parish District Attorney Joe Waits Jr. You'll also see lined up behind me is Dennis Elford, who serves as the Chief of Staff for the District Attorney's Office of Terrebonne Parish. Lieutenant Colonel Terry Daig, who is with the Terrebonne Parish Sheriff's Office and is the Criminal Commander. Major Shelley Liner, who is also with the Terrebonne Parish Sheriff's Office and serves as the Narcotics Commander. Captain Joe Crapell, who is the Assistant Narcotics Commander for the Sheriff's Office. First Lieutenant Scott Robinson, who is with the Narcotics Division. And also Senior Agent Dylan Kibido. So if there are no questions before we get started and everyone understands the format, then I will turn it over to Sheriff Tim Saunier.
Good morning. Thank you all for being here. Basically, we're announcing the results of a year-long narcotics investigation. And look, I can't commend our people more than now. I'm very proud of the service and proud of the investigation because it was a lot of tenacity and a lot of effort to make it to come to this point. This case began from a concerned citizen, an anonymous tip. It came from the public, and again, from the public, I'd like to thank the public for coming forward and giving us information so we come here today and talk about some of the results. The operation resulted from 6 arrests, and they're on the board. Most notably, this investigation led to the largest methamphetamine seizure in history in Terrebonne Parish. Approximately 70 pounds of methamphetamines was removed from our community. Significant quantities of heroin, fentanyl, cocaine, marijuana, and crack cocaine were also seized. The estimated street value will come in exceed of $750,000. The quantity of fentanyl and heroin seized potentially would have caused hundreds of overdose deaths. This operation represents a major disruption in organized drug trafficking that was taking place in Terrebonne Parish. Today, our community is much safer because of this investigation. This investigation does remain active, and we'll continue to investigate, and we'll continue to pursue every single lead. This operation demonstrates, again, the dedication of our narcotics, our intelligence division, and collectively the tenacity of all of these officers that made this happen today. And from the bottom of my heart, I thank them, but I know our community thanks you too. I would like to, if Joe wants to mention a few things, but again, we're going to continue investigating.
Thank you, Sheriff, and thank you all for being here. First of all, I want to commend the Terrebonne Parish Sheriff's Office, Homeland Police Department, and all the federal agencies that assisted with this case over the past year. I've had the honor and privilege of working with these gentlemen for the past 30 years. And I tell you what, this is a first-class group, a very educated group, and they do their job very, very well. So congratulations to all of you all. They've been working on this case for over a year. It's very difficult to put a case of this size together, and they've done a very good job. This isn't their first rodeos. They've been here before, but this will be their last. Mr. Antoine is a regular. He will be eligible for a habitual offender bill. We will charge him, and his days on the streets of Houma, Louisiana are over. These guys have put together a good case. We look to expedite this case, move it through the court system as quickly and as expeditiously as we can, and get this matter behind and get these people behind bars where they belong. There was enough fentanyl that was, it was like the sheriff said, 70 pounds of meth, but there was enough fentanyl to kill hundreds and thousands of people in Terrebonne Parish had this hit our streets. We are very lucky that we have intercepted this. Just in Houma, Louisiana, we've had 37 and 38 overdoses last year alone that resulted in death. So it has a significant impact to our community. They have done an excellent job, Sheriff. Congratulations on the hard work and dedication. We look forward to continuing to work with the Sheriff's Office in prosecuting these criminals and getting them off the streets. Thank you very much.
We'll now open up for questions.
Sheriff, on a good note, I think a couple of years ago, correct me if I'm wrong, it was close to 60 deaths.
We had
Joe
quite a few.
just said 38 now, so there is a decline, so obviously the good work is paying off.
This year, we had 2 and 2 to be confirmed so far. We got 2 for sure, but we got 2 we got to confirm by more testing and results.
Talk about the logistics of this. Like Joe said, it took a year. Why did it take a year? Obviously, a lot of people know why, but maybe explain that to the public, the process.
So cases like this, I mean, even from anonymous tip, I mean, those officers, there's lots of investigative work that needs to be done, and it is a continuous thing, and it has to be built. A case sometimes is just not as simple. It has to be built up. This particular case, these guys worked over a year on it to get it to this point so it can be effective, and like you see, we took enormous amounts of narcotics off the street that obviously would have saved lives. But it's that effort, but it's that continued effort. It is not nothing, okay, there's nothing there, we're just gonna move on. These guys didn't give up, and they continued and continued, and that's why I can't thank them enough, but I'm proud of their work and their tenacity to continue working to take this stuff off the street.
The Antoine guy that you're mentioning, is that Ron? They call him Harp?
Harp, and
What kind of character is he? Obviously, he's
Well,
well
this-
known to the police.
this is not his first rodeo. And as District Attorney said, he's looking at multi-build them, and that's good.
How have the drugs changed over the last 20 years? What's, I guess, fentanyl and heroin are still the drug of choice, where it used to be crack and marijuana and different things?
Still opiates. You're seeing opiates. You're still seeing fentanyl. You're seeing heroin. A lot of that still going. That's still an issue. But you're seeing a lot of meth as well.
Joe, can I ask you a question, Joe? You've seen it, like you said, you've been there 30-plus years. Talk about the gravitation of the drugs over the years, and what are you seeing now, and how's it changed, and how do you deploy your people to do the different prosecutions on this?
Like the sheriff was saying, this is a large quantity of drugs that we've taken off the streets. What's the scary part is the amount of fentanyl that we're now taking off the street. It's the fentanyl that's killing people. It's killing our youth, killing our young people, killing so many people every day. It's a problem. And you all know, if you just listen to the news, there's so much being pumped in. So and it only takes just so little amount of fentanyl to kill someone. So this, at the bottom, the larger of the two small packages is actual fentanyl. That's enough to kill probably half a Terrebonne Parish, just that in and of itself. And I'm not a chemist, but an estimate. It can kill a lot of people. And that's why that's why it's so important to get this stuff off the streets. And you never know. Some of these kids are using these drugs recreationally. They get a little bit of fentanyl, boom, it's over with. They're dead. Families are changed. Families are affected. Lives are destroyed. And that's why we need to get these drugs off the street, Martin.
70 pounds of methamphetamines on a template. I know you say it's the largest one, but for the public, How does that rate the other bus? I mean, how much is that amount, 70 pounds?
Well, that's quite a bit. I mean, when you look at the photo, that was 2 big duffel bags full. And that's a lot. That's a whole lot. By the time it was cut and spread on the street, it even went further. And that's what people understand. This is what you're seeing is more of a form that needs to be cut, processed, and put on the street. And that's obviously saving lives, but that would have went a long way out in the community. And you know, this particular investigation, this was right prior to the Mardi Gras weekend. We had no doubt this stuff would have been on the streets. And what we would have been dealing with out there as a result of this, I would go on to say this helped save a lot of lives and help mitigate a lot of issues our other officers may have had to go through to deal with this stuff.
Not to give away deployment secrets, but obviously from the weapons we're looking at on the screen, how many units did you have? How many deputies were involved, and was there any trouble with the arrest?
Well, this particular, it was, you know, we had help from Home Police Department and other agencies that assisted in this, and we can't do it alone. This stuff, we really believe most of this was going to be concentrated in Terrebonne Parish, but that doesn't mean it's going to cross into Lafourche, St. Mary, or other parishes where they had the same problem. I mean, those particular issues, there's no borders. And the reality is we got to work together, and we do work together to kind of clean this stuff up for our communities.
All these on the screen right now, they all in the same group, or is, I would assume that the Antoine may be connected, but all the rest?
Yeah, they're all involved in the whole investigation as a whole, but Mr. Antoine, he's one of the lead ones.
How much resources do y'all put? Like you said, it's a year-long investigation, so some of these gentlemen and ladies
Continuous
here today.
Continuous investigation among handling other cases and continually going back. And then once we come to a head, then we bring in our partners to assist in what we need to do in briefings, and there was a lot of logistics involved in this particular operation, especially when it came to getting this stuff
When do you
cleaned
know
up.
it's time to go? You consult with the DA, or how do y'all work that
We
out?
keep the district attorney in the loop. This is what we got, this is what we're working on, and we make sure we get everything locked in so we can have a success as this success. No officers were hurt. It was an operation that was well planned, well thought, and it worked out.
Do we still have other disciples in this deal, or do y'all feel like y'all got this particular
Well,
group?
Look, any investigation always leads to other things, especially this stuff. We're not going to stop.
Obviously, it's a large amount, okay, that we'll see. And, congratulations to the team and stuff like that, for getting that off the street. What is your message to anyone, small or large, trying to bring this stuff into your,
It wouldn't be a good idea for you because our guys are going to work tirelessly and we're going to get this stuff off the street. Our community deserves that. And we're going to work hard for our community. We're going to work hard with our partners to make sure this stuff doesn't get on the street. When we do, we will work tirelessly trying to get this stuff off the street. It's just not a good idea.
Joe, let me ask you a question. You mentioned that you could use some kind of law against Mr. Antoine or whatever. Is there some kind of avenue that would get this kind of perpetrator off the street?
Yes, because of Mr. Antoine's history, he's been in the system many times, he has multiple convictions. He is, we can multiple bill him as a habitual offender, and in all probability, he'll never see the light of day again.
What is the range of sentence that, I know there's big range nowadays.
Well, there's so many different charges. I haven't done the actual calculations, Martin, but there's so many different charges here. It's very, very significant for all of them. With Mr. Antoine, it's the most significant.
Sheriff, let me ask, do we have any idea where these drugs are coming from? And I know if y'all continuing the investigation, I probably know the answer, but any idea?
No, it's been through anonymous tip and then thorough investigation. And look, we're going to continue to work with our partners to figure that out.
Thank you on my end.
Thank you.
Thank y'all. Congratulations.
But one add thing, look, again, it's the people of this team that made it happen. And it takes a team. But a lot of people in this room, they all contributed to making that happen. And I thank you, because it does take a team. And I'm very blessed to have a great team. Thank you.
All right, there's the press conference from here on Savannah Road with the Sheriff's Department. As you could hear, a major drug bust. I mean, a record drug bust here in Terrebonne Parish. You heard it from the sheriff, you heard it from the DA, all surrounded by high-ranking officials of the Sheriff's Department. And we appreciate you joining us. We'll keep you up to date. I'll give you a little information. After countless investigative hours, agents developed probable cause to obtain search warrants for 4 residences within Terrebonne Parish, which were determined to be investigated and linked to Ryan Antoine. Those were 327 Broad Street, 175 Al's Trailer Park, 132 Red Street, and 503 Marietta Place. So, once again, authorities came in contact with Ron Antoine, 33 of Houma, Troy Rihanna Johnson, 28 of Gray, Rachel Antoine, 54 of Gray, Raheem Robertson, 32 of Schriever, Sharanisha L. Johnson, 25 of Gray, and Sylvester Ingram, 59 of Schriever, who were subsequently arrested in connection with the investigation. Let me see if there's any more before I sign off, if I can get you. Agents arrested, they call him Ron Harp Antoine, on charges of possession with intent to distribute methamphetamine, possession with intent to distribute fentanyl, possession with intent to distribute heroin, possession with intent to distribute marijuana, transactions involving drug proceeds, possession of drug paraphernalia, and creation or operation of a clandestine laboratory. Antoine remains jailed at the Terrebonne Parish Criminal Justice Complex on a $1 million bond by local judges. So obviously, they saw the need for a high bond there. We will post the rest of the charges on our HTV10 Facebook so that you can look through them. But obviously, as you heard, Ron Harp Antoine was the kingpin of the operation that they were looking at, and we will have that. I appreciate Jason Serenier being here with me here on Savannah Road. We appreciate you, the public, tuning in. I'm Martin Falls. Have a great day.